All right, y'all. Welcome back to the pod, man. Trying to get my lighting right in this thing. So, funny thing enough, y'all, I had recorded a whole 7 minutes worth of pod, and the light wasn't right. So, second take, we're gonna do it again. But if y'all notice, different background. Usually I'm sitting in my car, giving everybody tips and ideas and different things of that nature about being the CEO of your last name. But today we in another country. Right now we in Panama City, Panama, Central America, Panama Canal, and we having a good time, honestly, man. Um, it's gonna be a different little pod, If y'all see, I got a chair, so I'm gonna have an interview, a business owner, as well as what I normally do with everybody. Give us a word, give us an idea, something that we can intake as we all going along this journey of being the CEO of our last names, man. If you're new to the pod, this is the first time seeing it. Being the CEO of your last name, what that means is taking ownership of the future of your family's generations. So between 1 and 15, I felt like I really couldn't do anything about, you know, my life, my future, because I had somebody to take care of me, my mom, those kind of things. But as I grew up and started taking ownership of my last name, man, meaning taking control of what the future is going to be for my family, man. So that includes my family, but my brothers, if they had kids, whatever, just kind of putting our family in the right direction. Um, and, leaving something for generations to come. So, like I said, the regular structure of the podcast, I give a word, and then I elaborate on the word and what it means to me to be about the CEO of your last name. So the word we got in Panama City, Panama, y'all, is determination. I chose this word, determination, because I feel like a lot of people, the root word of determination is determined. I feel like we got to be determined, man. Uh, Life is going to give us different things, man. Life is not going to be some perfect, straight up going from like this part, just going up, going up. It's gonna have some hills, it's gonna have some valleys we're gonna have to navigate through. We're gonna have some low times, we're gonna have some high times. But the objective is to get to a point where we leave something for our family and our future generations to come. So I feel like we really got to be determined, man. Honestly, um, we got to have goals that we set for ourselves, man. We got to have places and ideas and things in our head that we can look for and move towards going. Then you got to have a purpose. That's something that we'll talk about later, and probably in another podcast. The reason why you're doing this, the reason why you're here, your motivation. I don't want to say motive, but I want to say motivation. What's your why? The reason why you're doing what you're doing. So being determined to have determination, I believe that's a part of being a CEO of your last name, because things are not going to always work out as they seem. Maybe that business deal won't go through. Maybe that partnership won't work. Maybe, things might not align perfectly, but you still got to be determined. You still got to push. You still got to be focused. You still got to have the right mindset. You still got to sacrifice um, and do those different things, man. You got to be determined, man. I said in the earlier podcast, but if you're new to the podcast, man, uh, there was a study done where people that went after different goals or tried to reach different goals, um, and the difference between people that actually reached their goals and didn't reach their goals was one thing. It wasn't about the money, it was about the finances or the resources or the network. all these grand things. The only difference between people that reached their goals, people that did not reach their goals, were what it actually is. They just thought they believed, or they believed they could do it. That's the only difference. It wasn't something big. It's just the people that reached their goals, no matter what it was, is they believed they could do it. They didn't have the money, they didn't have the time, they didn't have anything, tangible that we think we need. It's just they thought they could reach the goal. That was the difference between people that reached their goal and didn't reach their goal. So, like I said, the word of the day is determination. Next portion of this podcast, man, we're gonna be interviewing a close friend of mine, business owner, just getting some insight on, what it is that he feel like makes him the CEO of his last name. You know, the discipline that comes with being a business owner, those kind of things. But we're gonna interview him, y'all. Coming up.